So Bernie Sanders has Medicare for all, but now he also has masks for all. Yes, Bernie Sanders has introduced masks for all. So this is Fast Company's report on this. Bernie wants to send 3 free masks to every American. Let me get you a couple or several paragraphs here. So the Masks for All Act of 2020 would set aside $5 billion of federal funds for the production of, quote, high-quality reusable masks. The masks would then be distributed around the country by the U.S. Postal Service, ensuring every person in a U.S. state, territory, or tribe would each receive 3 free of charge. The bill was introduced Wednesday in the Senate by Sanders and in the House by California Representative Khanna, who also served as national co-chair for Sanders' 2020 presidential bid. It was developed with the help of Andy Slavitt, acting administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services under President Obama. 32 states have now implemented mandatory face mask laws of some kind, but they don't specify how and where residents can procure the equipment. Quote, if we can afford a $740 billion defense budget, we can afford to send every American a free mask, face mask, Khanna said in his office's press release. Far too many vulnerable Americans are being left to figure out how to procure this basic need. If we're asking folks to wear a mask, which is absolutely essential, it's on us to provide one. Exactly. I completely agree. Now, with that said, even before, look, if this hopefully passes, but look up online. Just go to YouTube. You're on it right now. Look up DIY face mask. It's pretty easy. In fact, there are the first face mask I was using was one that I made myself without any equipment, anything. Just literally 2 hair ties and a piece of cloth from an old t-shirt that I had, and you can make a face mask in 3 minutes, literally. So you should make your own mask before any of this even happens. But I do agree that, look, if people are being asked to wear masks, part of the government's job is to take care of its citizens, is to ensure their safety. So masks being a precaution when it comes to the coronavirus, of course, people should be wearing masks during this pandemic. So they should be provided. Now, I want to give you a little update here on the situation in the United States compared to other countries. So this is daily new confirmed COVID-19 cases per million people. This is the rolling 7-day average. I always link, when I cut this video out later, I always link to the sources below the video so you can check this out yourself and also add countries, customize the chart, do whatever you want. But here you go. The U.S. numbers still growing. I guess it's dipped a little bit, but look, I have to say, I'm not sure if this has been looked into since this change happened, but I reported on this a couple weeks ago now, I believe, that the Trump administration has taken over collecting the coronavirus data from the CDC. So a job that was once the CDC's job has now been taken over by the Trump administration. Now, with that said, you can still, there are still places that go to each individual, state and county and get the healthcare data straight from the hospitals. So there is still ways to verify the data that is coming out of the Trump administration to ensure that it's matching up. But this dip happened at the exact same time, that data switched over to Trump. It could just be a coincidence. It could. It really could. I don't know. But that said, it's still, even if there's some funny business going on, these numbers still are not good. This is still not a good situation to be up here in daily cases when everyone else is down here. Australia, Canada, the UK, Japan, again, add other countries. The only country that comes close, as I like to remind people, is Brazil. Brazil here is now, look at how it's shot up. Unbelievable. Brazil also run by a neo-fascist, Jair Bolsonaro. So you got here 2 neo-fascists, Donald Trump, Jair Bolsonaro. This is what they think of their people. They don't care about their citizens. So this is why it is, I mean, the UK has a conservative government. They got their numbers down. Not to give any credit at all to Boris Johnson, but they got their numbers down. I feel like maybe part of that was because Boris Johnson actually got the coronavirus, and that kind of turned everything around once he got it. But look, they can do it. The U.S. can't. And there are multiple reasons for that. Of course, the lack of masks, which hopefully, this can help with, or the lack of recommendation of masks at the beginning of this pandemic, but also the lack of financial assistance to people. When you don't give people real help, real financial assistance during a pandemic like this, then they feel the need to stay at work and get out there and go in public. When if this was taken care of properly from the beginning and people were given, say, $2,000 a month, a UBI to take care of their whether it's rent, food, whatever it is, that would have, of course, helped to keep people at home, keep people feeling financially stable. But also, of course, you got to point out the healthcare system. You got here in all these other countries some kind of universal system. The U.S. for-profit system. So that's another piece of the puzzle here. But yeah, at the very least, considering the situation you're in now, look, please wear a mask. It's not a lot hard. I told you, make your own at home in 3 minutes. It's really simple. Just wear a mask when you go out in public, especially when you're indoors. Just do it. And hopefully numbers will, at some point, come down consistently and stay down. Because look, in Canada, our numbers are low right now. But I still wear a mask when I go out. I'm still careful. And we should continue to be careful even when numbers are this low, let alone when they're up here. So wear a mask, be careful, and just be conscious of what's going on around you. Mr. Sir says, feel like masks for all is mostly USPS funding. It's funny. I should have made that connection. You're right, because it also counteracts what I was talking about earlier, if I can remember it here. That Postal Service is considering closing post offices. So, yeah, masks for all could be a way, could be a sly, intelligent way, sort of under the radar to help the Postal Service in this situation.